Clear. Still can't see the screen yet.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when you guys can see.
I can see the screen.
I can on my mobile.
Yeah, it should be a new quote.
I can see it now too.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Okay, so on this one, yep, like I said, we're going to be paying in full to the customer is going to be paying in full to Crest, and then Crest is going to pay the full amount to the carrier. The carrier is going to go ahead and pay back Crest that commission amount. So on this one, yeah, same with the other one. Since we're going to be sending the carrier the amount, the bill pay is going to be set up as the carrier. And then moving on, since the amount the customer is going to be paying to is they're going to be paying us directly, the payable to is going to be Crest. Is everybody following along? If you have any questions, definitely feel free to speak up. But yeah, since the customer is paying to us, this is going to be marked as payable to Crest. So where the difference is going to be, it's going to be on this financials page. So for the financials, the gross to be collected, that's how much we're going to collect. And then how much we're going to pay to the bill payee, we're going to pay them the full amount, right? So we're going to be paying them whatever we collect, which is going to be the gross to be paid, right? We're going to be paying it gross, not net, because yeah, we're not going to be keeping the commissions. The customer will be paying before policy issuance, and yeah, we're not going to be paying the stamping fees or whatever directly. And we're expecting to receive just the commission amount on this policy. Does anybody have any questions about how this is set up or why it's set up like this? Okay.
So actually, I do, when I'm entering these in, I'm entering in the amount to be paid to bill payee. I was told to enter in the gross minus the commission, but that's not the case, correct?
Yeah, so in this case, since this is a workers' comp, and then what's the other line that does this?
BOP.
Yeah, workers' comp and BOP are the ones that we pay the full amount to the carrier first. In those two lines, yeah, just go ahead and put the gross to be collected in the amount to be paid to the bill payee.
Okay.
I'll double check to see if this is actually necessary. I think the system will do it automatically, but this is just kind of a fail-safe to enter in the full amount. For the other lines where we'll just pay the carrier less the commission, then yeah, you would go ahead and do this full amount less the commission amount.
Okay.
And you would put it
now, I'm curious to see if it lets you move forward then.
Yep. So since we put this as gross, what we should expect is that we're going to be paying everything to the bill payee, and then receiving this amount back. If it was net, we would expect to pay the bill payee net and not receive anything back. So, yep, just like with the other processes, same process. Just go ahead and hit next, and then go to this page, and you would finalize and send it to the carrier. I would send it to the insured to sign and pay, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip that and do payment. Okay. So now that the payment is made, you should see a record for accounting. In the total amount that we collected. So here is the total amount. And again, accounting at, I'll ask for the quote number so that you can search by that if once you get the email that says it's been paid, or confirmation from the AS team that it's been paid, and if the policy hasn't been issued yet, so that way you can more easily see it. But yeah, this one. So the amount 826 for employers. So now we have the full amount for employers, the 826. So then accounting will then go ahead and pay that out. One thing to note for this, and I'm trying to get this fixed, is the reason why this came about is because the commissions were showing up on the reports for AEs before we actually received the commission back from the carrier. So for that, I'm still trying to figure out a way to not show those so that we don't get those false positives. But once accounting does receive the money back, they're going to go ahead in here and just make sure. They're going to go ahead and go back into the invoices for the company or the carrier, right? In this case, employers. And then there is the commission or the CREST revenue that we should be receiving. And that's how accounting will then recognize the CREST revenue for that particular policy or quote if it hasn't been issued yet. Are there any questions on just this second scenario where the customer pays in full? Yeah.
What did that do, Harrison? It created an invoice for the revenue.
Yeah, so it created.
And the bucket is CREST revenue.
Yeah, CREST revenue. Should it be in a different bucket?
Well, I always thought CREST revenue was a calculation, so meaning commission plus fees, any of our revenue. So I more need to know what the breakdown of that is. So I think
CREST revenue it should be for this policy the commission amount, which is this. And then plus any fees that we would expect to take for this. And on this one, there's no fees. But if there were fees, it would go into that CREST revenue.
Yeah, so I would prefer to have the detailed buckets than the total. Actually, not prefer, need.
So even though it's all the commission that we get, so let's see.
Yes, because it flows through to a different spot on our financials.
Okay, I'll go ahead and pay this. So this is that workers' comp. So I'll just go ahead and pay that. And so that payment, okay, so that just shows carrier premium. Let me just check what this invoice says. So this invoice has the actual breakdown. All right, so this one would have the actual breakdown.
Oh, okay, so that's probably the invoice that flows through to the sales tax.
Yeah. This flows through the sales. I think, this just shows that we're paying out the carrier because it's a bill, right? And then this would just show when we're receiving the CREST revenue. So then from the CREST revenue, we would then determine the AE amount versus the amount that we keep. Right?
Yeah. I'm guessing that's not an invoice, that a sales invoice, because I think there's, in the system, there's invoices that are created that actually don't flow through the sales dashboard.
Yeah, exactly.
For instance, producer invoices, they don't flow through because the individual invoices that make up a producer payment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be this invoice. Yeah, so this would be what would show up on the sales.
Then that's fine.
All right, cool. So any other questions about this second case?
I do, because for renewals, we don't have, unless we physically go in and check each policy, or accounting notifies us that a payment is received. Is that going to change that process there?
Yeah. So that will be number 4. So this third one, it's the premium finance. Unless people really want to see it, I think it should flow the same way it does now, where premium finance will be created, and then those invoices and bills are created. I'm just going to go ahead and show case 4. So case 4 is when the carrier sends CREST directly the commission amount. So we have no idea that there's a policy out there or whatever, and then we somehow get a commission amount from, say, CNA. So how do we go ahead and get that into the system? Since the customer pays directly the carrier, and all we receive is a commission amount, we do need to then go and set up the quote in the system first, right? And then from the quote, we'll be able to satisfy the amount that we just received. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I don't think I have one set up specifically for it. So just go pull one. I'll just create one. Okay. So let's just say I don't know the amounts up here, so just bear with me. But let's just say that on this case, we received the commission amount from employers for this workers' comp, and we need to go ahead and set up the actual quote policy. So I'm not sure exactly what you guys receive, or if you then need to go and dig into the CNA system or whatever system to find the policy details. But yeah, this kind of asks for the different policy details. Let's go ahead and see if we can, if we just get the commission amount, if we just put in, say, 636.7, and then let's just say that we always get 10%, so we'll just do the backwards math and do 360. Right, is that no? Yeah, that's here we go. So yeah, let's just say that this is just the bare bones that we get. So this would be how we could set it up. On here, since the bill payee would be employers, that's who the insured paid. Payable to would actually be set to the carrier, right? The customer paid the carrier directly the amount, so we didn't receive any payment directly from the customer. We received it from the carrier. So since we received it directly from the carrier and the customer paid directly to the carrier, we're going to set this payable to the carrier. instead of Crest. If Crest were receiving the money from the customer, then yeah, we'd go ahead and put this as Crest, but since not, it's set to the carrier. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this done. Okay. So on here, you'll notice that the gross to be collected from customer is 0, right? Since the customer is paying the carrier directly, we set that to 0. They also automatically set this SL tax to no. For this one, you can go ahead and put yes or no. It doesn't matter. For this, the amount to be paid to the bill payee, we can just go ahead and put that. Again, I don't know if it really matters what you put there, but that is that. And then we would just go ahead and put the commission amount that we received. So does anybody have any questions about why the gross to be collected 0, or why these fees are set up like this? It looks like there's a couple questions. Okay, Lisa, so these are specific cases for, let's say, workers' comp. Sometimes accounting receives a big list of policies that we get payment for, and for renewals, typically the carriers handle the renewals for this product themselves. So we don't get any notification that somebody has renewed until they've actually paid the carrier directly. And then all we're doing on our end is creating the record in the system, so that we know that they've actually bound this workers' comp policy, and then accounting can go ahead and enter in the payment to recognize it in the system. So this isn't for every case. For new business, you would still set it up as Crest collecting the amount and then sending it out, like that last case that I just showed. But in this case, it's if accounting receives the list of policies that we get paid on, and they notice that we don't have that policy in the system, they'll go ahead and either let you know, or I don't know if they're we want to have accounting set it up themselves. But yeah, in many cases, this is how that case would be solved and how it would be set up. I believe accounting should be able to hit that issue policy button. I'll go ahead and check on that. So yeah, for the whole process, I'm not sure exactly who wants, where the process should end for one person or the other. That's something that we can talk with accounting and underwriting team together and see who should do what. But yeah, good questions. Any additional questions on kind of what this is going to do, or just how this page is set up? Okay, so from here, just go ahead and click next. And again, I'm just going to skip this. So ideally, what I'd like to be done is for accounting or whoever to then go and hit this buy now button and satisfy that $60 or $36 commission amount. Right now, it's showing the full amount. For some reason, it shouldn't show that full amount to be invoiced. It should only show the amount that we should be collecting. And so either, that's a bug that I've already taken to be fixed. So just to let you know that it's not currently usable now. Don't hit this buy now button and then enter in whatever amount. Currently, what it's doing. Let me just make sure I got the right one. For employers. So, yeah, that quote is set up now. Now all that we need to do is go and collect this $36 commission amount in the system. So just go ahead here. Yeah, it's not there. So it would be. Oh, that's right. Okay. So for this case, again, another little quirk that I saw and ticketed is that first you need to issue the policy first, or the actual accounting is done on the employer side. So I actually had to issue the policy. I could just put in fake policy number, and then it will now show up. And I'm not sure. Okay, there it is. Yeah, and I should have. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. So what it'll do for the accounting side is it will make a record that the policy was already paid for, right? That we, that payment was completed on the policy, just not through us. And then it'll also create a record for the actual commission amount to be received. So then if you go ahead and you pay that, so let's just say that we get a bunch from employers, we'll go ahead and select them and then pay them. And so now on their invoices, we do go ahead and see that we received that CREST revenue from employers, and then from there we'll go ahead and pay out the AEs or the producers if it's there. Are there any questions about how this scenario is set up? So I know this is kind of a convoluted scenario that typically accounting does handle or used to handle a lot of. So we do need to start getting these into the system when we find them. So this is just how that would be set up.
Yeah, Harrison, on that one, did it also, similar to the one above, create a sales invoice under the customer?
Yeah. So that is test. So yeah, since that policy was only premium, yeah, that would be the only amount that is in there.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So are there any questions or any other cases that aren't covered in these cases that I went through? I think about any other retail scenario that we might have. Yeah. If not, then yeah, that's pretty much it for me in terms of the different cases. Is there anything glaringly wrong or shouldn't be done in these cases that I haven't noted that you might have seen? Okay. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and get those changes noted and done. So then they'll be a test. Moving forward, please try to get those accounting or get those retail policies set up correctly. This yeah, this is a different process than used to, so it might take a little bit of time. But yeah, in terms of the general accounting, additionally, I'm looking for a way to be able to kind of redo the invoicing, so then hopefully we don't get a ton of issues where it's not set up correctly. But for now, if that does happen, just let me know and I'll take a look at it, and then we could we'll probably need to do a cancel rewrite or a midterm to correct some things, so that accounting can go in and correctly put in the monies that they need to. Yeah, so if there's no questions or no issues, that's it for me. And yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Harrison.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thanks, Harrison.
Thank you, Harrison.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Harrison.
Mhm.